Hello everyone, my name is Sijia Lee and welcome to Positivity Channel. Today we will explore 50 classic concepts to help you deeply understand the subtle relationship between perception and reality. These concepts will inspire you to re-examine your life. Let's unravel the mysteries of cognition together and embrace every moment with a more positive attitude. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel now. Let's explore the mysteries of human thinking together.
Alice Hamilton's Wonderful Journey. At the end of the 19th century, Alice Hamilton encountered a white rabbit in Wonderland in England and explored a strange world. Her magical experience teaches us that sometimes we just need to follow the white rabbit in our soul to discover the miracles in reality. Joseph Capgras' time-bending. In the early 20th century, Joseph Capgras experienced a time-bending phenomenon in the Swiss mountains. His magical time journey tells us that time is relative, and perception can break the shackles of reality. The Dream Art of Lucia Delbert. In the Parisian art scene, Lucia Delbert creates breathtaking works of art through dreams. Her magical creations teach us that the line between perception and reality is sometimes just the distance of a dream. Richard Bazin's Virtual Reality. At the beginning of the 21st century, Richard Bazin experienced adventures beyond reality in virtual reality. His magical experience tells us that technology can allow us to transcend convention and redefine the boundaries of perception and reality. The charm of Mariana Abramovich's performance. In the modern art arena, Mariana Abramovich breaks the limitations of time and space through her performances. Her magical performance tells us that art is a passport to transcend reality. Albert Hofmann's hallucinogenic journey. In the 20th century, Albert Hofmann experimented with LSD in Switzerland, opening up a new realm of consciousness. His magical experience tells us that chemicals can sometimes open wonderful doors between perception and reality. Mary Jones's virtual socialization. In the era of social media, Mary Jones creates a digital world that is different from reality through virtual socialization. Her magical experience reminds us that virtuality and reality can exist at the same time, forming a unique perceptual experience. Oscar Lorenta's dream fame. Oscar Lorenta rose to prominence through a dream performance at the Hollywood DreamWorks. His magical experience tells us that sometimes the achievements in dreams can also penetrate into reality. Amy Hamilton's spiritual resonance. In psychotherapy, Amy Hamilton achieves spiritual resonance through deep meditation. Her magical journey into the soul shows us that by exploring the depths of our being, we can create experiences that transcend reality. Carl Sagan's cosmic fantasy. In the 20th century, Carl Sagan transcended the boundaries of the Earth through his cosmological fantasy. His magical exploration tells us that through thought, we can transcend the constraints of the Earth and explore the mysteries of the universe. Ella Foster's science fiction adventures. In the literary field, Ella Foster created the wonders of the fictional world by writing science fiction novels. Her magical story tells us that words can be the magical link between perception and reality. Hannah Larry's visual art. In her artistic practice, Hannah Larry creates psychedelic artworks through optical illusions. Her magical art tells us that vision can be elusive, and art is a poem that transcends reality. Michael Faraday's artificial intelligence experience. In the field of technology, Michael Faraday uses artificial intelligence to interact with machines to create a virtual world. His magical experience tells us that technology allows us to find a wonderful balance of perception between artificial and natural. Allison Jones's dream interpretation. In psychological research, Allison Jones reveals the underlying mysteries of the psyche through dream interpretation. Her magical discovery tells us that dreams are the spiritual meeting point between perception and reality. Olivia Hope's augmented reality art. In artistic innovation, Olivia Hope uses augmented reality technology to create artworks that blend virtuality and reality. Her magical art tells us that technology can open doors for us to create beyond the conventional. Nick Good's mysterious adventures. In mystery novels, Nick Good guides readers on a suspenseful journey through mystery stories. His magical narratives teach us that in stories, the boundaries between perception and reality can become blurred. Lisa Ming's spiritual yoga. In yoga practice, Lisa Ming achieves balance between body and mind through spiritual meditation. Her magical spiritual journey shows us that through inner exploration, we can merge the harmonious resonance of perception and reality. Francesco Amber's marvelous brushes. In Renaissance Italy, Francis Amber created paintings that transcend reality through his brushes, making the viewer feel as if they have traveled through the painting. His magical paintings tell us that an artist's creativity can transcend time and space and break down the barriers between perception and reality. The musical magic of Alison DuBois. In the 20th century, Alison DuBois created an ethereal musical feast through music performances in Paris, France. Her magical performance tells us that music is a magical art that can guide people to transcend the shackles of reality. The Dream Adventures of Lincoln Smith. In Victorian England, Lincoln Smith has adventures in his dreams, talking to fantastical creatures. His magical dreams tell us that adventures in dreams are sometimes more real than reality, and the wonders of perception are hidden in dreams. Emily Harris's Scientific Maze. In a contemporary laboratory, scientist Emily Harris discovered the mysteries of the microscopic world through virtual reality experiments. Her magical experiments tell us that the development of science and technology allows us to peek into reality beyond the naked eye, and perception is the adventure of science. Oscar Romero's Food Magic. In Barcelona, Spain, Oscar Romero uses his culinary skills to transform food into strange shapes. His magical cooking tells us that food not only satisfies our appetites, but also allows us to experience changes in perception through our senses. The Spiritual Adventure of Belinda Williams. In Sydney, Australia, Belinda Williams reached a spiritual state beyond reality through meditation and contemplation. Her magical adventures teach us that inner peace and reflection can lead us through the fog of perception and reality. Seth Hartman's video game. Adventures. In Tokyo, Japan, Seth Hartman experienced a virtual world adventure through immersive video games. His magical games tell us that the virtual world can also become an expansion of perception, leading us to unknown areas beyond reality. Margaret Vincent's astronomical stargazing. On Mount Mauna Kea in Hawaii, astronomer Margaret Vincent observed the stars through a telescope and delved into the mysteries of the universe. Her magical starry sky tells us that through the eyes of science, we can transcend the Earth and explore the infinite boundaries of perception. The natural charm of Oliver Ferguson. In the Canadian Rockies, photographer Oliver Ferguson captured the unique beauty of nature through his lens. His magical photography shows us that through art, we can discover the beauty of perception hidden in reality. Ivici Duncan's psychological exploration. In New York, USA, psychologist Ivici Duncan reveals the mysteries deep in the soul by analyzing dreams and mental states. Her magical insights tell us that through the window of psychology, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complex relationship between perception and reality. Nicholas Klein's mirror illusion. In the Louvre Museum in Paris, France, artist Nicholas Klein breaks the boundary between reality and illusion through artistic mirrors. His magical creations tell us that art is a magical mirror that reflects reality and can create poems of perception on canvas. Alison Moore's Ghost. Adventures. In a manor house in England, explorer Alison Moore explores the legendary ghosts in the manor through adventures. Her magical adventure shows us that the line between legend and reality is sometimes as ethereal as a ghost. Jason Eaton's time travel. In California, USA, physicist Jason Eaton explored the twists and turns of time through scientific experiments. His magical experiments tell us that time is relative, and perception can guide us through the mists of time. Aaron O'Connor's mysterious moments. Photographer Aaron O'Connor captures mysterious moments on camera in an abandoned castle in Ireland. Her magical photography tells us that through the lens, we can discover the mysterious beauty hidden in reality. Harrison Davis's Flying Fantasy. In Sydney, Australia, pilot Harrison Davis admired the gorgeous scenery above the clouds through the airplane window. His magical flight tells us that the experience of high altitude can transcend the reality on the ground and bring about a new visual realm of perception. Lillian Baker's Garden Wonders. In the Tulip Garden in the Netherlands, gardener Lillian Baker created a fantastic sea of flowers through botanical art. Her magical garden tells us that nature is the most beautiful stage where perception and reality blend. Oscar Lopez's Desert Journey. In Mexico's Sonora Desert, photographer Oscar Lopez recorded strange scenes in the desert through his camera. His magical desert journey shows us that even in desolate places, we can find the beauty of the illusion of perception. Grace Anderson's Time Cafe. In a small cafe in Paris, Grace Anderson discovered during a casual conversation that the liquid of time flows in the coffee. Her magical cafe tells us that sometimes a wonderful journey of perception can be hidden in the aroma of a cup of coffee. Mark Harper's photography adventure. In Australia's Great Barrier Reef, photographer Mark Harper recorded the wonderful life on the seabed through an underwater camera. His magical photography tells us that through the lens, we can uncover the mystery of the underwater world and discover the profound connection between perception and reality. Alice Manning's Night Sky Conversation. In Queensland, New Zealand, astronomer Alice Manning conducted a night sky conversation with the stars through a telescope. Her magical starry sky tells us that the stars in the night sky are not only bright dots, but also channels for communication between perception and the universe. Jason Williams' Movie Wonder. At a movie screening in a Hollywood movie theater, filmmaker Jason Williams discovered that the story in the film was closely connected to his own life. His experience with magical movies teaches us that sometimes the boundaries between the movie world and the real world can become blurred. Rachel Lynn's Book Adventure. In an old library in England, Rachel Lynn found herself transported into the world of the book while flipping through an ancient book. Her magical books tell us that books are the mysterious doorway where perception and reality intertwine. Bain Johnson's Jumping Canvas. In a New York gallery, Bain Johnson looked through the jumping figures in his artworks and discovered that they seemed to be able to jump off the canvas and into reality. His magical art tells us that the artist's creativity can break the boundaries beyond the canvas, allowing perception and reality to cross each other. Melissa Walker's Garden. Miracle. In Victoria, Canada, botanist Melissa Walker used plant experiments to make flowers bloom miraculously in the cold ice and snow. Her magical garden tells us that the plant world hides amazing miracles of perception. Olivia Stone's Dance Fantasy. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, dancer Olivia Stone seemed to blend into another fantasy world behind the stage during a dance performance. Her magical dance tells us that movements on stage can lead the audience to a wonderland of perception and reality. Nick Harper's Travel Adventure. In South Africa's Kruger National Park, traveler Nick Harper discovered the tacit dialogue between wild animals and nature through adventures in the safari park. His magical journey into the wild tells us that nature is a mysterious kingdom full of perceptual conversations. Jonathan Carter's Adventure Dream. In Sydney, Australia, adventurer Jonathan Carter traveled through time and space and explored an unknown world in a dream. His magical dreams teach us that sometimes adventures not only happen while awake, but can also come true in dreams. Alice Perrin's Musical Maze. In Vienna, Austria, musician Alice Perrin felt like she was in a maze of notes through a concert. Her magical music tells us that the rhythm between the notes can lead people through the barriers of perception and reality. Cameron Hope's Undersea Wanderings. On the Hawaiian island of Molokai, diver Cameron Hope discovered strange biological communities in the abyss of the sea through diving equipment. His magical diving tells us that the underwater world is a mysterious kingdom full of miracles of perception. Alan Baker's Adventures in the Woods. In Canada's Jasper National Park, Outdoor explorer Alan Baker went through the forest maze and discovered the adventure park hidden in nature. His magical forest adventure tells us that nature is the best stage for the integration of perception and reality. William Hopkins' Ghost Conversations. On Tower Bridge in London, England, ghost hunter William Hopkins had a conversation with the legendary ghost through a nighttime adventure. His magical ghost tours teach us that sometimes the lines between perception and reality can become blurred in the company of ghosts. Lisa King's Scientific Miracle. In Berlin, Germany, scientist Lisa King successfully triggered a miracle in the microscopic field through experiments. Her magical science tells us that subtle interactions of perception and reality also exist in the smallest realms. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to Positivity Channel. See you next time.